Aloha. Thank you so much for joining us, staying with us. See if I can get a mask off so that you might be able to hear me just a little bit better. Thank you. So as we start every town hall, every virtual meeting, etc., we started off with our cue card, remembering who it is that we've come here to be. So again, if you will, with me, please have compassion for me when we are being not enough, distrusting, grieving, blaming, powerless, or fearful. For who we have come here to be is loving, in integrity, unstoppable, spirit-led, empowered in ownership, and transformational. That is who we are here to be. That is what this church is here to be. With the multiple missions that we have, we've got a preschool, we've got a counseling center, a wellness center. We have got multiple ministries that we share with this community. And in that process, we are so grateful for all of the support that we get from everyone. So thank you. Today's update from the board will include 4 or 5 different areas. The first one will be on facilities, the second one on fundraising, then the endowment, then bylaws, treasurer's report, and then a few announcements. And today we have got Debbie Catania, our treasurer, that is joining me to be able to share some of this information. So Debbie, will you come up and join me, please? Thank you guys so very, very much. Do you have, we need a mic here. That's what we're missing. My apologies. So from a facility standpoint, Debbie, let me see if I'll let you find it. So there has been some developments. You know that we had told you that we wanted to raise some money out of the fundraising for the purpose of electrical. Well, we certainly needed some of the fundraising money for the electrical over the course of the last few months. As you may know, if you're in the sanctuary, you will notice that some of the speakers are missing on the sides. The reason for that is that some of them ended up having some problems because the electrical current and some of the crackling that we've had has been problematic, right, Debbie? And in the process of that, what we have found is that some of the power that is back in the green room that we already kind of knew about has had some spikes and some other problems. And kind of to complicate that, when the electrician came out to look at it, he says, this junction box that you've got in this room is so old and it's been associated with a number of fires in the past. So we really need to get rid of the junction box that you've got. And so we are in the process of trying to redo that, bring clean power into the green room, particularly in the area where the music, the speakers, and all of that are. So thank you for having that all done. And Debbie, you want to talk a little bit about the trees?
Absolutely. We're slowly removing the dead and dying coconut trees and raising the canopy of the other trees on the campus. They're either, close to touching the structures or just kind of laying on them. And that's not what we want for our buildings, for the campus in general. So much of the other brush and shrubbery trimming has also been done. And so the grounds around those coconut trees that actually were removed are starting to settle. And so we received this wonderful donation of planters from Drew Erickson.
Exactly.
And to put in place of those holes that are in the ground and keeping the area safe for everybody.
We had talked about a couple of possibilities of putting either a new tree in there or something, but we also realized we needed something that was going to be big enough that people won't miss it and end up tripping over whatever it was that we have in there. And right now we've got about 3 foot round diameter, about 2.5 feet tall white planter that is out there. It's hard to miss it, but it is gorgeous. It's really attractive, and it's not a problem. So we're very happy about that whole process. And we've got people out there showing, but we won't be able to get that over to see. Anything else in that area? That's about all I know of.
I don't think so.
Okay, fundraising. The 83rd anniversary fundraising, as we've announced a few times, is and is continuing to be a great success. We were trying to raise 100,000. We're up at about 92, 93. I didn't see this week's numbers, but we are real close to meeting our desired outcome of 100,000. So very, very nice. Anything else that you wanted to say about fundraising, Debbie?
Yes. The fundraiser was mostly to repair the neglected areas of the facilities, which you see are getting done, as you come onto the campus. There are also overgrown and dying trees that need to be cut down. And because of the pandemic, the income hasn't been sufficient to keep up with all of the repairs and upkeep that goes along with property and ownership of property.
Exactly. And in that essence, brings us really to a segue to the Endowment Foundation. The Endowment Foundation is doing wonderfully. As people probably remember, the Legacies of Aloha program that had about upper 300,000 or thereabouts got transitioned in 2018 over to the Endowment Foundation, Unity of Hawaii Endowment Foundation. With the way that the stock market and other things have gone, the church's or the Endowment Foundation's assets are now over 633,000, which is going to be very, very helpful as we continue allowing, or as 4% of the dividends are able to be moved over to the church whenever we have paid off the loan that we had in the past. So before long, we're excited about the possibilities of some of that investment in income to come over to the church. We are also excited about the website.
Yes, Reverend Johanna has completed the work on the new foundation website and updated all of the programming language that was necessary. Drew Erickson has also been volunteering his time to resolve issues, and the new website is up and running.
I think we have a little Minahuni. You know, every once in a while the name of Drew Erickson and Allison Peterson comes up with the things that they're doing, and thank you to both of them for all that they have been doing. And thanks again for all of the work that Sally Hartman is doing, not only with the Endowment Foundation. And I think, did I mention that we're up at 633,000 now?
Yes.
For the Endowment Foundation,
yes.
Which is about 15%, right? Over the course of the last year. So we are very excited about the fact that the Endowment Foundation continues to increase in value, which is certainly very supportive of this church. And talking about Sally Hartman, we got the bylaws stuff, and she is chair of that, and she's doing a marvelous job with it. If people haven't gone on the website to look at the proposed new bylaws, please do so, because we need to make sure that you have it all down completely before the annual meeting so that you know exactly what we're doing. As you know, we're using UWM's template. So in the process of that, we're going to have to vote on a full new set of bylaws. It will be impossible to try to redline everything, because what you would find is nothing but red lines because things get moved around. The template is a little bit different. And so read through, please, all of that information. And Debbie, do you want to tell them exactly where to find it? On the website? On the website.
It's under member resources. On the website, you'll see it, board update. I believe that there's probably another
There is another place. There is another place. And it sometimes what you'll see is that the banner that scrolls across, you'll see it coming up with 2021 proposed bylaws. But also on the second row at the top of the header, there's a place on there for 2021 proposed bylaws. So all you need to do is click on that. You can read through them. There is a wonderful explanation of what we're doing, why we're doing, and all of the information about why we're doing what we're doing and why UWM is wanting us to do part of it. UWM has been wonderful with working with us, and they have really taken into account our desire, and actually they've changed their template to go out to churches based on what we have recommended as well. There are a number of times that you can ask questions. Debbie, do you remember the dates? We've already had 3 of them, I think. We did one in January, and then we did, in December. We did one on January, the beginning part of January. There was another one on the, don't remember, and then the 25th is the next one, and then there'll be one in February. So yes, there is a lot of time that you can pick to call in, join us for those Zoom meetings. And again, the next one will be on January the 25th. I'm pretty sure that's right. Isn't that right, Margie? January 25 is the next?
February 4th.
It's on Thursday. My apologies, you're right. You're right. I knew that something wasn't quite right. So January the 14th. So we did one in December. We did one in January the 14th. The next one's February the 4th, and then February 25. There's where the 25 came from. It's February the 25th. So thank you. I should have just looked down instead of continuing to look at the camera because my memory wasn't as good as the paper is. Isn't it amazing how sometimes what you write down is much more accurate than what's inside the little noggin? Oh, well, such is life, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Sometimes we get a little older. Go with the flow, that's right. And Debbie, you want to talk to us about the treasurer's report too?
Yeah, this is the part that I'm aware of, or I'm very familiar with.
And so if I can, right before you get in there, please, if there's anybody that has questions, because we're not able to do this one virtual, please send us information, questions that you've got, etc., while Debbie's doing the treasurer's report, and then we'll answer questions as soon as we're through. As soon as she's through.
So this month, or for the month of December, our donations amounted to $16,893.12. Other income was $14,277.58, which gave us a total income of $31,170.70. However, expenses were $34,377.94, which gave us a negative net ordinary income for the month of December in the amount of $3,207.24. Now, overall, from January all the way to December, our net ordinary income did turn out to be a $48,718 deficit for the church. So all of the fundraising and all of the donations that we continue to receive from everyone has been very, very gratefully received.
Most certainly. And once again, we talk about investments, not only in the future, but we talk about investments for this church. The investments of the wellness program, the counseling program, the preschool. As you can see, the other income of $14,000 really comes close to matching the donations that are present from the congregation. So without the preschool, the wellness, the counseling center, and other areas of this ministry, we would be hurting. And thank goodness for the investments that we have placed in a variety of ministries that are supporting this church.
Yes, wonderful ministries, and also coming in quite profitable.
Very, very nicely, exactly. And as the Endowment Foundation, as soon as we're able to get some of the income that is coming in from it, it is paying off the debts that it has to the endowment. The church is paying off by not receiving the withhold. But as soon as the withhold, as soon as the loans are paid off, then we will continue to receive 4% of all of the money that is in the Endowment Foundation in perpetuity to keep this church wholesome, well, and functioning, and continuing to serve in the multitude of ministries, serving the people of this community, as well as the state of Hawaii. Margie, have you heard any questions that have come in for virtual town hall?
I'm live. I have not.
You are hot, girl. You're live. Thank you. Nothing has come in at present?
No, nothing.
All right. Any questions that are present from the audience here in the chapel? I see no. Oh, I'm sorry. Catherine? One sec.
I've understood that a number of nonprofits, schools, and things are offering annuities for people as a fundraising possibility or increasing their legacies. Is Unity ever considering doing anything like that?
Thank you very much. The word annuity is a bit of a I'm not real positive what that all is. So individuals can have annuities. Annuities are ones that you put money into, and then depending on how you decide that you want to take the monies out of it, after the age of 70 and a half, you can take it as income. Now, what you can do with annuities is you can transfer some of the value of the annuity, particularly that part that you're taking out as not donations. What am I trying to think of? As the amounts that you need to withdraw out of the annuity every year because you're forced to do so. But as you take that out, what you can do is you can give it to an organization like Unity Church of Hawaii, and all of that money then is tax deductible. So you don't have that additional income coming in to pay taxes on. So that's a very beneficial piece. Now, I don't know whether that was the question you were asking. It looks like that was the question you were asking. Okay, perfect. Other questions that people have? Yes, Bonita.
A congregant came up and asked me if they find out if they're a member of the church.
Reverend Margie, would you like to?
Yeah. All they do is they go to the website and they can check on member renewal. And if they'll fill out the form, if they haven't been active, I'll either call or email them and talk about their status. And if they have been active and they need to renew, then woohoo, then they did exactly what they needed to do, is fill out that online form for membership renewal. So I forget what the menu says at the top of the web page. It may say member resources, or it might have membership renewal somewhere in the main menu at the top of our homepage.
And if, for example, I've already done, but if I go back on and I renew again, would that hurt anything?
Not at all. A couple people, because we had our renewal period in September this past year, and not everybody shifted into that habit. So people are still renewing in December and even now. And if you forgot that you did it and you do it again, you don't get extra credit, but you're in the system. It doesn't hurt anything.
Oh, that is perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, it is a little bit confusing. When we voted on the bylaws the last time, we did decide to change it from December back to September. The reason being that things are so crazy around Christmas, it's a little bit difficult for the staff to be able to do all of the stuff they need to do, as well as be able to update all of the membership stuff. But we did decide that we would accept registration updates until January, February, just so that we make sure that everybody that is a member that it got behind in that whole process will still be able to update things for the annual meeting. So, Margie, thank you so much for all of that work. There's a lot of work that gets done in committees, and the committee information that we gave today were the 4 committees that presented to the board for January. There is 3, 4, or 5 committees that present every month at the board meetings. We tried to divide it up so that we've got an understanding from every committee 3 or 4 times a year what is happening in those committees. And if you haven't been watching the board meetings online live on Zoom, please do so. There's a lot of information that is there, and we try to make sure that everybody knows when the board meetings are going to be. But in general, it's confusing, isn't it, Debbie? It is the first Thursday after the 17th of the month. And you may say, why in the world do you do that? The reason that we do it is when we were sending everything out to Stephen Lee, we didn't get the information and the numbers back until the 10th of the month. So we had to move it to where it's really about the 18th. But we tried, so the Finance Committee meeting is the first Thursday after the 10th. And then the board meeting is the one after that. So it'll be about the 18th or so, the next Thursday after that. So most of the time, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of the 20-something to the end of the month.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that pretty close to? I know it's confusing.
It's a whole lot of confusing.
It is a whole lot confusing. And what we really need to do is we need to have on the board a calendar that has every date on it. We'll see what we can do with making that a little bit easier. So all you have to do is just go to the board webpage, and we'll have the calendar on it. Second Thursday after the 10th, or the first Thursday after the 17th. So yeah, you got it. Whichever way you want to remember it, but it's 2 weeks after the Thursday of close to the 10th. That's right. Anything else you can think of, Debbie?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you
Any other
guys so very,
questions?
very much for joining us. And what you can now do is go over to Community Connection, sign in there, and Reverend Margie, you're going to talk about your talk and let people ask you questions.
And whatever else they want to talk about.
That sounds beautiful. Okay. Blessings to one and all. Thank you for those that are still in the sanctuary and those that are at home. We appreciate you. We honor you. We bless you. And we behold the Christ that is present in each one of you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Blessings. Thank you.